Hey folks, doing here? Well, man, what can I tell you? You basically got a cup of coffee, in this case, Tigger juice. Just give me 1 second here. Towards the end of the cup, but it's still rocking. Anybody that knows the nuts and bolts of the way of the world knows there's very few things that complement a cigarette better than a cup of coffee. But cigarettes are not the best thing in the world for you. I mean, let's just look at the simple economics of it. Carton of smokes will run you back at least 65, 70 bucks plus. In Maryland it is prohibitive. In New York City, it is absolutely insane. It is like 12 bucks a pack for, cigarettes, and then they have their own specific kind of cigarettes, and it's just flipping ridiculous, all right? So the kicker is now you're now stuck with the situation where you're addicted to nicotine, but you're being jammed left, right, and sideways. Oh, okay, so you go with the alternatives. Pipe tobacco is cut differently than cigarette tobacco. It's the same tobacco. They just cut it a little differently, so it falls under a different tax rate. You could do that. You do roll your own. Like Big Durification, he rolls his own cigarettes. He says he gets pretty good success out of it. Your price per drops quite a lot, but it is still not economically feasible versus the other alternative, which is simply put, vaping. Let me drag Tiggy off to the side here. Now, the alternative to smoking, essentially, is vaping. So, essentially, what you have here is you have an amalgam of juice. In this case, this would be juice from Vaperkave, one of my buddies on Facebook, and soon to be on YouTube. They're still getting their stuff together, but the kicker is this is an amalgam of food-grade products. You never, ever want to stick anything in your body that is bad. There's 4,000 chemicals plus aromatic hydrocarbons, and who knows what. The FDA doesn't know half the crap that is in cigarettes because it is a trade secret. We can't tell you what's in there. How safe is this stuff? Okay, well, if you see this one's got a slightly pink contrast to it, that's because this one is strawberry. This one is their something American blend or USA blend or something. It's like their version of kind of like a cigarette. Kind of has nuances of smoking a cigarette. I smoked Marlboros back in the day, but how safe is this stuff? Okay, let's show you how safe this stuff actually is. I'm taking it. I'm putting it on my finger. You see, it is on my finger. My finger's nice and shiny now. Let me count my focus. My finger's nice and shiny. You see, I got the stuff on there. Tastes really, really good. This stuff is really, has this really nice strawberry hit. And the reason why is because it is actually using food-grade quality flavorings. I mean, the flavorings that they put in food products is what goes in here. If it is not FDA-approved food-grade products, you do not want to stick the crap in your lungs. Don't do that. So essentially what you have here is you have this stuff. What happens to this stuff? Well, you take this stuff and you have yourself an e-cig. In this case, this would be one of their starter units. This is an Ego T. Let me try to not kill my focus here. This is an Ego T. So I read Echo Golf Ocean Tango. Now, the kicker is, Oscar, sorry, but stupid focus. Now, the kicker is this guy right here is the battery. So trust me on this one. Grab the knurled part. The part with little notches and grooves and what have you. Grab that part to unscrew. Do not unscrew by the tank because this is going to stay put. The tank's going to unscrew and juice is going to go down your hand. Not cool. Don't do that. Now, you have the battery. The battery has to come out. The battery then needs to go into a charger. The charger, of course, then gets either plugged into a 5-volt USB or it gets plugged into a wall charger. Not rocket science, okay? Now, what they usually recommend is you take this guy, you use it for 20 minutes, you take it apart, you put it in the charger, you let it charge overnight, 24 hours. The LED on board here will flash red. When it turns green, you're fully charged. Now, the way of the world is this thing works like such. You work the button, you work the button, you work the button, you get nothing. It's because it's not on. You can hold this button all day long and you're not discharging the battery, creating a short circuit, or cooking the internal part, which is a part which actually is a wear item, which is the coil. The coil is actually the part that takes from the clearomizer, and the carbomizer versus the clearomizer is one that you see through, one that you don't. A clearomizer is a tank you can see through it. So the clearomizer tank has a little tube that runs down the middle. What happens is this guy gets juice drawn into it. It gets hot. It is not ridiculously hot. This thing in full hardcore, completely crazy use and what the hell, going totally bonkers. gets a little warm. It is not like ridiculously high temperatures. There's really no flame or explosion hazard with this thing because it just does not get hot enough. So this is the device that actually does have a wear item. This is about $2 or $3. It's good for a while. Just like juice, it is a wear item. Okay, you're going to use these two things up. The device itself is good for a few hundred charges plus, depending on how you use it. If you run it completely down flat, charge it back up. Completely down flat, charge it back up. Battery's 20 some odd bucks. It is roughly about a year's worth. So year's worth of use if you're just going completely god crazy with the thing. So how does it actually work? You have this guy. You're fully charged. Okay, let's just assume we're fully charged. You have your tank. Your tank needs to be filled. So what you do then is you unscrew the cap from the tank, and you will note that the coil is actually attached to the cap. You will notice the holes are a little bigger. I actually did punch the holes up with my drill because I want to have more airflow. You then take this wanker, you tilt him, you take your juice, you have a little squirt nozzle on there, and you just run it down the side until your tank is full. You notice my tank is not full anymore. It's because, well, I've been using it, okay? You then apply, thusly, your cap, which has the coil on board. Screw it together. Now, usually, the owner's father recommended to me that you tighten, loosen, tighten, loosen, tighten, loosen, tighten, loosen. So you kind of get a feel for it basically getting snug. You then apply said battery. Said battery screws on board. And when you know it is ready to go, you go thusly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means it is on. Now, if you listen to it real carefully, you will hear the coil heat up and start cooking the juice. So let me drag my microphone over so you guys can see I'm not faking here, but let's turn this booger on and hear sucker rock. Now, if I was to draw it through the mouthpiece, I would be inhaling and exhaling a cloud of vapor. But Mrs. Dude has expressly told me, do not vape in the house. She's one of those very sensitive people to smells and what have you, and I just can't do it. But here's what I can do, is I can give you the demonstration on how that worked. Now, to turn it back off, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means it is now off. So you're going, okay, how do I preserve my item if I'm out in the field and I don't want to drop it and hurt it or anything? Simple, stupid, and it works. Take a water bottle. Any water bottle. It will fit down the neck. Put on a cap. You now have got a life preserver for your e-cig. Now the kicker is, if you think about it, it's now hard cased. It's not going to get hurt. And if you drop it off your boat, it's going to float. But then you have the situation of how do you get these items to begin with? Well, let's just say in Maryland, the taxes suck. Let's just say in Maryland, let's just drag the curtain back a little bit, okay? Let's just say a couple bottles of juice. Let's just say a case. Let's just say a charger. Let's just say, probably you want to get some spare coils as well. And you probably wish to have your e-cig to begin with. What would all this stuff run you if you walked up to some guy in a mall or something? It's probably not going to be that cheap. But I can tell you my friends over at Vaperkave have got a promotion on currently. If you use this code of VK35, so Victor Kilo 35, you will get free shipping when you buy items up to the dollar amount of $35 or more. Free shipping. Now, where can you find these guys out on the internet? You can find them on Facebook.com, Vaperkave. Now, remember, that's with an E and with a K. So, Vaperkave. They have a website freestanding now that is currently up and running at Vaperkave.com. They do have an email that's available as Vaperkave@Outlook.com. And, of course, that spiffy artwork with the two cavemen chugging away on theirs was by me. So they're buddies of mine, and they're giving this promotion currently. There's another promotion that's going to be tied in with Around the Cabin. They are probably going to be sponsors. Oh, I'm a little cross-eyed here. They are probably going to be sponsors at Around the Cabin. But you know what, guys? If you want to get some really, really cool stuff, definitely check out Vaperkave. If nothing else, it is a safer alternative to smoking. It's not as safe as not smoking, but it's a damn sight better than smoking cigarettes traditionally. The other thing that's kind of cool is I'm running juice with zero nicotine. You can run zero nicotine, and it is just as good. It tastes just as nice. You know what? The other thing, too, is you can actually adjust your nicotine. You don't have to bang down some stuff that'll basically kill a horse at 50 feet. You can drink this stuff like candy, and it's not going to hurt you. Food for thought. You can't do that with cigarettes. This stuff is a safer alternative to smoking traditionally. I'm going to break off on that one, folks. Eat good, keep it a 10 ring, and as always, you know it, you love it. some vaping goodness. And the strawberry rocks. They got a special on a strawberry banana right now, and that stuff is tasty. I'm going to break off on this one, guys. See you guys.